Hello again, and my name is Andre Theodore, and today I will take you through virtual private networking, or VPN. So, what is VPN? Exactly as you're seeing in this picture here, a VPN is a tunnel, and your information is encrypted inside that tunnel, going all the way through the internet, from your VPN server to your client. It can also go from company to company, as in if you have a branch in Port of Spain and you want to set up a VPN to your other branch in Arima, you can set up a VPN tunnel to connect the two networks. And that is what VPN is about. It's about connecting you securely to your network through the internet. And that connection is secured by the encryption of this VPN tunnel. So if a hacker tries to hack a VPN tunnel, what happens? The tunnel will automatically detect it is being hacked, and it will shut itself down for a few moments, and it will take a different path or route through the internet using various routers. So the hacker won't even know where the VPN has gone. That's one of the biggest advantages of using a VPN tunnel. And as you can see here, uh, it goes through your firewall. So you have to make an exception for it through your firewall to connect. And you can also set up a VPN from Trinidad to China, China to Trinidad. However, the possibilities are almost endless where VPN is concerned. But most of all, it's very, very secure. So let's get right into it. So before we go to our server, I would just like to show you how to set up two network cards for this VPN implementation. So you would click on your server and go to settings and go to network, and here you see I have adapter 1 enabled as the host only adapter. Just go ahead and click on adapter 2, enable it, and choose host only adapter as well. So one network card would be set to obtain an IP address automatically. Of course, that card would be the outgoing connection to the internet, and one of the cards would be configured so that the remote client would be able to log into the server or, using your VPN, so it can make the connection as well. So there you go, you have adapter 1 and adapter 2. So let's go ahead and go to our server. So we go straight to the server manager here on our Windows 2008 server R2. Just click it right here, and then we'll go to add roles, and then click next here, and then we'll select the network policy and access services. Here's the introduction to the network policy. So just go through this, and then select routing and remote access services. And it says the server might need a restart afterwards, which is perfectly normal. It's almost finished, and our installation has succeeded, and we will restart immediately. That's just good practice to always restart if it doesn't restart automatically for you. Now that we back up, let's go ahead and open the server manager again. Go to network policy and access services. Routing and remote access. So let's go ahead and configure routing and remote access. I'm going to click next. And yes, we will be choosing remote access dial-up or VPN. And choose the VPN option here. Now go ahead and just select the DHCP interface here. And let's choose to specify a range of addresses. I'm going to click on new. Let's start from about 10. And let's end with 10.0.2. So that's 10 IPs. And no, we will not be setting up a radio server, so we will leave the option here at its default, and that is use routing and remote access, and go ahead and click finish. And then it's asking us to support relaying of DHCP messages from remote access clients. You must configure the properties of the DHCP relay agent with the IP address of your DHCP server, and yes, we want to do that, so we click OK, and it's configured it now, and it's finalizing, and then we click finish. So now in the server manager and remote access, we will go to remote access login and policies, and we would right click on it and launch the network policies. And here we would click on the network policies folder, and you can see here we have default policies here that's disabled, so we are going to enable them by going to properties. We can create new policies here, but we would leave them at its default. Let's go to properties, policy enabled, and by default it says deny access if connection request matches this policy, but we want to grant access, and we want to select the type of server, and of course we would choose the remote access VPN server, and go ahead and click OK once that's selected. And then we would configure the other one. So let's right click, go to properties, and we are going to do the same thing because it says deny access, so we want to grant access if the connection request matches this policy, and go ahead and select remote access dial-up VPN, and then go ahead and click OK, and it changes from a red X to a green tick. So now let's switch to the client to further set up our VPN connection. So now we are on our Windows 7 client. We right click here on the network icon, open network and sharing, and then we will go to let's set up a new connection on network, and connect to workplace through VPN here. But I click next, and then connect using a virtual private network connection through the internet. And then we'll set up the internet connection later. here we'll just type in the IP of our server, and just call it class VPN. Click on next. It's asking you how to authenticate with your username and password. And the connection is ready to use. So now if we go to the adapter settings here and we click on the VPN connection we just created, and right click and click on connect, type in your password, as you can see, if you right click here it says status. Our VPN connection is connected to our server successfully. So we are now connected. So now if I right click on my class VPN connection and I go to status and I click on details, here you would see my IP version 4 address is 10.0.2.33, which means I am getting an IP from the range we set in the VPN network policies option when we were configuring the VPN server on our Windows 2008 server. And here's the gateway of the server 10.0.2.15 and the name of my VPN, class VPN. So now, although we do have a successful VPN connection, I just want to show you how to configure the Windows firewall. So from the start menu, start typing firewall, and go to allow a program through Windows firewall. And we just go through the list here. So scroll down, and here you would see routing and remote access. So we'll check that, and check all the boxes, and then we'll go ahead and click on OK. So now here back on our Windows server, we are in the remote routing and remote access snapping, and we're just going to examine a couple things. As you can see, it logs there's a log for the remote access client, and it gives you the amount of time that I've been logged in through VPN, and it tells you who had logged in, and that's me here, the administrator, when I had logged in from the Windows 7 client. And if I right click on that and I see status, I can disconnect that client if I suspect something is wrong. And here the amount of byte used, the IP address, I can refresh or reset the connection. And here on ports, you can see that you can set dozens and dozens of VPN ports. And if you keep going down, scroll down, you can see here the one port here that is active, the PPTP VPN entry port that is in use by the VPN client currently. And if you double click on the IP version 4 here, and you right click on the general option there and go to properties, you would see there are different ways you can make logs of errors and warnings. You can log errors only, log errors and warnings, log the maximum amount of information, and even disable login overall. But we will leave it at its default for now. And here back in the remote access login policies, we can launch the NPS again, and we can click on accounting, and we can configure the accounting ourselves. And go ahead and next, and we could choose where we want to log our information, to a server, to a text file on this computer, simultaneously to both, or to a server using text file login for failover. Well, for now, let's just choose a log to a text file on this computer, and then go ahead and click next. And yes, we would leave everything here checked as default. Go ahead and browse. Let's click local test and create a directory, and let's make a new folder. Let's just name it logging, and click OK, and then click next, and just confirm our settings here. Click next, close. So now that when we log onto our VPN and log off and there's any alerts or anything, it will all be logged in that folder in a text file on the C drive that we just created. And if you go to your C drive, you will see the folder we just created. And here it is, logging, that we just created. Now, coming back to our client machine, there's something we'd like to show you here in the properties of our VPN connection. Is the IP address of our server, and options, and PPP settings. You could enable SCP extension, enable software compression, negotiate multi-link for single-link connections. We leave this at default. And in the security type of VPN, we have automatic is the default. Then we have point-to-point tunneling, layer 2 tunneling, and secure socket tunneling protocol, and IKE-v2. And this is the whole point of VPN here. VPN in itself is a tunnel that takes a path along a certain set of routers through the internet, from your client machine to the server, wherever that is. And if a hacker tries to break the encryption of that tunnel, the VPN will pick up that someone is trying to break the encryption, and it will shut itself down and take a different path through the internet using a different set of routers. And of course, the hacker won't know which set of routers the VPN has taken. And this is what makes a VPN so effective with all of these tunneling techniques. So I will leave this as automatic, and you have different types of encryption here as well, made available by Microsoft, and a different set of protocols here as well for authenticated handshakes. But we'll leave everything as default. And that's it for my VPN tutorial.